Coming up now, Kuku Timing is ready. Kuku, what do you have for us this afternoon on business?
It's quite amazing around this time how energy matters is vital to the business community. Of course, we would want to know that constant electricity supply is going to help out. Once we mentioned that Abuaze risk closing down, that is no more. We will get some more energy. So for the business community, obviously, it is good news. We have this and many other interesting stories coming up shortly. Do stay with us. All right, so let's do business now. 3 months after T3 thermal.
Authorities of VRA are unaware when the plant will be fixed. More than 3 months after the explosion, not a single investigation has commenced on the plant. As to when it will commence, VRA is clueless.
After the explosion, there were a number of things that were discovered. Some form of, technically speaking, some form of corrosion took place, and we thought that it's better for the original equipment manufacturer to come and examine it and tell us exactly what is wrong, how long it will take to fix it, or whether the machines have to be replaced and all that. But there's no substantive report out yet, so it wouldn't be fair on my part to sit here and start talking about it.
Opening the 132 megawatts power plant in February contributed immensely to a reduction in the country's load shedding, but the VRA says this time it will not affect power supply. How that is possible, we sought for more answers.
T3 is not affecting, is not creating any load shedding. I mean, you know that T3 was down long before we even had gas coming from Nigeria. I think the major problem for the country was the absence of gas, and since there's been gas, the situation has been stabilized. And when we have Ghana gas, then we can sit here and say we know it's going to be sustainable because it's our gas. We can control it. In Nigeria, we don't control it.
Okay, so I want to find
away from VRA. Let's just stay close to their neighbors. Let's talk about matters on the Volta Lake. And primarily, this one could be one that would help the transport sector, as the Volta Lake Transport Company Limited has signed a deal to start a 400-kilometer lake transport project between Akonsombo and Buipe in the northern region. Well, the project is expected to cost $314 million. Funds will be drawn from the $3 billion Chinese loan.
The Volta Lake Transport Project is part of the Eastern Corridor Multimodal Transport Project component under the CBD loans. The project covers 400 kilometers in lake transport between Akonsombo and Buipe in the northern region. It will also have 18 landing sites along the stretch. Other major components of the project are shipbuilding, a floating dry dock, fuel tanker services, 3 patrol boats for rescue missions, a ferry, and container terminal. The rest include building and deployment of HDP boats to replace fiberglass ones to reduce lake accidents, among others. 85% of the cost of the project, representing $314 million, is to be drawn from the $3 billion Chinese Development Bank CBD loan, with the remaining 15% coming from the government of Ghana. Even though the signing between the Volta Lake Transport Company and China Shipbuilding and Offshore International is the final deal takeoff, is dependent on the completion of subsidiary agreements.
This loan would bring about such tremendous growth in that transport lane and to the benefit of our country. It is truly a remarkable achievement for our country, and we look forward with our partners to achieve this project in record time and in the process build capacities in shipbuilding and civil works marine.
Transport Minister Jifa Akuativo looks forward with hope.
As a Social Democratic Party, our concern is about the people who live in the hinterland. We want to make sure that development gets to every corner of Ghana, irrespective of one's geographical location. That is why we are working on this project to improve upon the services that are provided on the Volta Lake. We are very much concerned about this project, and we'll make sure that the support that the ministry will give to Volta Lake will be forthcoming for us to achieve our dream of a better Ghana.
I'm particularly excited about this project because the free movements of goods and persons definitely enhances development in and around the area. So we look forward to seeing that Volta Lake project. But let's talk about the Ghana city, because the strength of the city will drive business across board. We'll talk about the British pound and then we'll settle on the US dollar. Around this time, the US dollar has not seen a much change. We talked about the stability over the period. The Eurobond funds coming in has maintained that ability. But on the screens now we have the British pound. Let me just quickly move on and give you a correct feel of the US dollar like we kept talking about. So you can see not much change on the interbank market, and on the interbank market is the rate at which the banks are trading the currencies amongst themselves. So the buying price 1.99, that's 1 Ghana cedi, 99 pesos, and then some few figures added on, but it is the same when you go to the selling rate. So it's not seen that much change from last night till this morning, and we would continually follow the pressures of the cedi, and we'll be talking about it more. But let's see that of the British pound, especially around this time. The cedi has not been able to wrestle its way through, but it continues to see that major gains around, opening at 3 Ghana cedis 0884 pesos. It's also down at a selling price of 3 Ghana cedis 1031 pesos. So those are the updates from the interbank market. We'll be joining you later at 4:30. We'll take time. We'll talk about cocoa. We'll talk about coffee, and then we'll zinc in on other issues like gold and crude oil. My name is Quick Kutamin. It's always a pleasure talking business with you.